What a bunch of nonsense. Okay. Then how is this nonsense? This is 2015. Playboy claims Jack Nicholson, Warren Beatty, and James Caan had secret underground tunnels from their homes to the Playboy Mansion. Now, when the whole Diddy thing came out, it was said, no, Diddy didn't have an underground tunnel. Okay, well, that's what the mainstream media said, and maybe he didn't. But then you'd want somebody that knows how to dig tunnels, maybe because you're planning to do the same thing Hugh Hefner did. Because at least the Playboy Mansion says that, or it was said that in 1989 they closed up the Playboy Mansion's tunnels. So Elon Musk buys 6 mansions all within the same neighborhood, the same one here, and all within less than 10 minutes away from Diddy's, his 6 mansions, and yet he also owns a boring company, which is to dig tunnels. How is that nonsense? But he dumped them all. He put them on the market, all of his mansions, in 2020. And maybe somebody told him that something was coming down the line. I mean, he did have government contracts. He did have, at one time, secret. He had secret security clearances because of the work he does with the military-industrial complex. So maybe somebody told him, nope, there's going to be some home raids. So then suddenly he puts every mansion he owns on the market before the Diddy raid, buys Twitter, okay, not wanting any of the names to come out, claims that it's because he's a free speech absolutist, and then all the media and all the podcasters, they just fawn all over Elon Musk. How is it that I can put this together and nobody else can? This is the blueprint for Hugh Hefner's, the Playboy Mansion's underground tunnels. Let me zoom in. Or Jack Nicholson, tunnel. Kirk Douglas. And one of them down here, it's hard to see, but is Warren Beatty. And as you can see, it says there, tunnel, Hefner residence. 2015, the Playboy Mansion secret plans for tunnels to the homes of randiest celebs of the 1970s. Playboy claims Jack Nicholson, Warren Beatty, and James Caan had secret underground tunnels from their homes to the Playboy Mansion. An editor at Playboy.com uncovered Polaroids dated 1977 showing some serious excavations at the Playboy Mansion. When asked about the dig photos, the mansion's general manager casually responded, "That's probably when they built the tunnels in the 70s. Like it was totally common knowledge that these celebs at the height of their stardom had private paths onto mansion grounds." Playboy Mansion, where a few undated blueprints were found showing plans for underground walkways. The drawings do say conceptual on them and seem to have been made fairly early in the process, but they also show that the idea for these subterranean routes got far along enough for someone to think seriously about how to connect Warren Beatty's house with the mansion. Secret tunnels revealed which male stars had underground access. The Playboy Mansion has long been the celebrity world's epicenter of debauchery, with several decades worth of wild parties at which the biggest stars of the era would shed their inhibitions and sometimes their clothes for some confidence, and I can't see all of it, but something shenanigans. The mansion was once equipped with a series of underground tunnels, several of which led to the homes of famous actors who just couldn't get enough of Hef's house. Warren Beatty, Kirk Douglas, James Caan all had direct underground access from their homes at one point. We're pretty sure every modern day rapper can just sit down now because it literally doesn't get any more baller than having a tunnel from your house to the Playboy Mansion. None of the legendary actors has spoken about the bunny holes, and it's likely they never will. But just knowing those tunnels exist fills us with a warm kind of nostalgia for a time when leading men could freely swim in the mansion's disease-infested pools and sire secret love children with multiple cocktail waitresses on the same night. Of course, it was also during this era that Bill Cosby hung out at the mansion. And then it goes on to say here, in the end, no one, not even the initially helpful general manager, will say whether the secret underground network was ever built. But that's come out that it was. But as I said earlier, says at the bottom, closed up sometime in 1989. Though an anonymous staffer did say that they heard the tunnels were closed up sometime in 1989. So, I don't know, it's the same area. Elon Musk buys 6 mansions in this same area, all that are in less than 10 minutes from Diddy's home. And Diddy bought that mansion in 2014. And yet, it just so happens that Elon Musk owns a boring company to dig holes, tunnels. Yeah, no, that's just nonsense. Really? But it's not uncommon. Every mansion in the world, most of them, have underground passageways. Now, or underground, whether they're bunkers or whatever. It doesn't necessarily mean they're up to no good. But in this case, it just is a little weird that the 6 mansions Elon Musk buys all happen to be within 10 minutes of Diddy. How is it that none of these podcasters who are the new mainstream media, they're the new truthers, how is it that with all the people that work for Glenn Beck that do research, how is it that none of them ever, wanted to reveal this? But then they're all the same people. Your Joe Rogans, your Glenn Beck, your Patrick Bet-David, every single one of them. Even think of all these are all conservative ones. They've never once wanted to talk about what Donald Trump was doing with eradicating trafficking. None of them have. None of them have. I've watched this for years now. I know that he was doing something about trafficking because in his executive orders, part of his executive orders were to help these victims of trafficking. And across the United States, there were safe houses in certain counties. My county happened to have one when he was in office before. So I started seeing regularly as a psych nurse in the ER, these victims coming in. And I hadn't seen that before, and it was because of this safe house. So I knew directly what he was doing, because it was later I read the executive order, and I'm like, oh, wow. Yet never once does Glenn Beck talk about it. Does Rogan talk about it? None of them. None of them. But what they do all do is they all fall all over Elon Musk. That's why I said when these people, when Donald Trump, put Elon Musk as part of, the Doge committee, these people like Glenn Beck, Patrick Beck, it's like there was this relief over them. Like they felt like as long as we have these people surrounding Trump, they'll keep him from, letting the truth get out. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Good luck there. But what it shows is all of them, first of all, are as much liars as the mainstream media, because never once in all of the time that Donald Trump, when he was in office or since being out or running, even though they claim that they support him, or at least Glenn Beck and Patrick Bet-David do, but none of these podcasters that have millions of followers will even talk about what he was doing to eradicate trafficking. And that's what the wall was all about. He knew there were tunnels. That's why those slats that form the wall, they, in certain sections, I've said it before, they went really far down. It was to cut this tunneling off. I mean, not at these mansions, but at the border. Because even at the border, they traffic human beings underground. So I don't know how this is nonsense to people. Look, Kansas mansion that boasts a network of underground water-filled tunnels designed for scuba diving. And there it is. So many mansions are like this. I mean, Elon Musk would be perfect because he has the Boring Company. Mega mansions of the super rich have this special feature: underground tunnels. It's not nonsense.